Are you tired of delay after delay of the Knights of the Old Republic remakes? Do these games even exist anymore? Did the MMO never really click with you? Don't want to wait until 2028 to play Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic? What if I told you there was already a Knights of the Old Republic 3? Well, then I'd be a liar. But there is something that comes very close. Starwind, a total conversion mod for the Elder Scrolls Morrowind that takes place in the same timeline as the original Knights of the Old Republic games. If you're not familiar with the Knights of the Old Republic setting, let me give you a quick refresher. It takes place about 4,000 years before the movies do. So 4,000 years before the Death Star, Darth Vader, the Clone Wars, and Jar Jar Binks. We're safe for now. It's a setting that's been largely forgotten by the fandom, probably because it's been 24 years since the last game. And I think at one point Disney even declared it non-canon, but who really cares what they think? Now, Starwind isn't like many other total conversion projects you see for games. Incomplete, unplayable, always in early access betas that never really materialize into anything. No, Starwind is a surprisingly expansive total conversion mod with over 200 quests, multiple joinable factions, and even a main questline you can follow or ignore. Because the game is built on Morrowind's engine, you're much more free with how your character plays. No longer do you have to be the chosen one or the exile. If you hate the main quest NPCs, kill them. Who cares? If you really want, you could even roleplay as a Hutt and just inhale spice until you die. It's really up to you. Starwind was originally developed by a solo modder, Ignatius, until an extremely small team of modders sort of formed around him. The original team truly created something special, and while the original mod team now considers Starwind complete, there are still a few dedicated modders that continue to add new weapons, armor, races, questlines, voice acting, cinematics, and texture replacers. Starwind is something I can explain to you 100 different ways, but playing it for yourself is the only real way to do it justice. I won't lie, it's janky as hell. If you're expecting the polish of a modern, newly released AAA game, well, then it's a little less buggy than that. If you're expecting something in the Knights of the Old Republic universe to not be completely jank, then you need to go boot up the old games and remember how jank those really were. I feel like this comment from the Nexus mod page does a very good job summarizing it. Quote, "It isn't perfect. Some of the available planets feel unfinished and lacking content. Some of the writing isn't the greatest. Some textures and models look rough compared to other mods. But when you're completely immersed in that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic atmosphere, a lot of those flaws just melt away. When you're roaming Tatooine and completing quests for a variety of aliens, listening to them chat in their distinct languages, thinking about which Outer Rim planet you want to visit next, and leveling up your force powers in this galactic sandbox, while that crisp, John Williams-esque space opera soundtrack swells in the background, it really clicks. Zeldar. The Star Wars setting actually translates surprisingly well to Morrowind's engine. Magic skills have been converted to different types of force powers, archery has been replaced by blasters, burst signs have been replaced by your character's home planet, and all of these allow you to create a very wide variety of characters who all fit within the Old Republic setting. Like I said before, there are quite a few joinable factions with their own questlines, including the Sith Empire, the Republic, the Grey Jedi, the Hunters Guild, the Sidaka, which are kind of like Tusken Raiders, the Hutt Cartel, the Geno Haradan, which are a faction you could work for in the original games, and then my absolute favorite, the Bounty Hunters Federation. Now this doesn't include the 100 or so miscellaneous quests, multiple arenas you can fight in, and just planets to explore. So, installing Starwind, is it easy or is it a giant pain in the ass? If you're familiar with modding, it's pretty easy. All you need is OpenMW, and a list of mods. I'll link my personal one down below in the description. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already have Morrowind modded and installed. I don't want to ruin my installation. Well, there's a way to have 2 concurrent installations at once. First, launch the OpenMW launcher. Create a folder somewhere on one of your hard drives where you want the mods to go. For this, I'll just put it on my E drive and name it Starwind. Then, drop the mods you want to install into the folder, extracting them, but leaving them in their own personal folders, like so. Then, go back to your OpenMW launcher, click Data Directories, click Append, and add the Starwind folder and all subfolders to your data directories. Switch back to Content Files and enable the mods, launch, and you're good to go. There is also an alternative method, using an auto installer. This auto install method is extremely simple and will get you 95% of the way there. I will link this in the description as well if you would much rather prefer it to install itself. My only recommendation if you decide to go this route is to install 2 mods that are not included on the list, Guns and Gears and the New Hope mod. These mods are doing a lot of the heavy lifting for what you've been seeing on the screen, replacing both guns and armor, models, adding new cinematics, rewriting NPC dialogues, reworking the main quest, and adding even more quests. My absolute favorite thing about Starwind is actually my favorite thing about Morrowind in general. You can be whatever you want to be. Once you're off Tatooine, the sort of tutorial planet, you're free to explore the galaxy, doing whatever and whoever you want. If I want, I can be a Jawa Jedi hunting down every slaver on Kashyyyk. I could also be a Duros technician who never draws a weapon, but has his endless army of droids kill for him. It's my character, and Starwind respects that. All in all, Starwind is an extremely well-made total overhaul mod for Morrowind that allows you to immerse yourself once more in the setting of the Knights of the Old Republic. Sure, there's jank. A shitload of jank. It's not perfect, but you can see the immense amount of love and passion these modders have put towards making something truly unique. And it's still being worked on by these same modders. New mods are still being made today by these modders that add more quests, new textures, better speeders, thank God, and entire planetary overhauls. Anyways, I'm Professor Boondoggle, and I just wanted to make a very short video sort of shouting this mod out. It is extremely underrated and deserves to be up there, in my opinion, with some of the top overhaul mods for Bethesda games or mods in general. Anyways, thank you for watching, and peace out.